Hello Mila, hello Jack, hello anyone else who's watching. Today's book on Storytime with Grandad is Rattles the Barn Cat Misfit. Rattles was a barn cat. She lived in a haymow with her two sisters, one brother and her mother. There were lots of other cats that lived there too. Many of them were her cousins, her aunts and her uncles. All the cats in the haymow were wild. All of them except Rattles, that is. Rattles was different. There weren't many people that lived on the farm. Only Grandma and Uncle Dwayne. Grandma and Uncle Dwayne did not play with the cats, so that the cats were afraid of humans. All of them except Rattles, that is. Rattles was different. Rattles loved humans. When Uncle Dwayne milked the cows, Rattles would jump up onto his lap. When Grandma fed the calves, Rattles would follow her. And when Grandma went for a walk, Rattles would jump onto her shoulders, ride along, and purr a purr so big she sounded like a rattle. Rattles was different. One day, two children arrived at the farm. Their names were Linda and Michelle, and they'd come to visit Grandma. "Kitties!" exclaimed Linda as she crawled out of the van. "Grandma, do you have any new baby kittens?" "I sure do," smiled Grandma. "There's a litter of 4 kittens in the haymow. They're all wild, though. All of them except one, that is. That one was Rattles, of course. Rattles was different." Linda and Michelle shouted with excitement. They loved cats. Linda ran to the barn, crawled up the ladder to the haymow, and immediately began to look for kittens. All the cats began to run. Rattles' 2 sisters ran, her brother ran, and her mother ran. All her aunts and uncles and cousins ran. All of her friends ran. "Danger!" they all hissed. "There's humans here!" They all crowded into some holes between the straw bales to hide. All of them except Rattles, that is. Rattles was different. "I like humans," purred Rattles, with a rattling purr that was so loud her whole body shook. "Humans are nice. Why, this human is a child like me. I bet she would be fun to play with." Rattles put her tail straight up in the air and waddled over to Linda and purred some more. "Kitty!" yelled Linda as she picked up Rattles. Linda held Rattles close to her body and carried her down the ladder to Grandma's house. Rattles wasn't afraid. Rattles was different. Michelle greeted Linda and Rattles at the door. "Let me hold her, let me hold her," she cried. Linda let Michelle take the cat. Rattles again shook with her rattling purr. "The cat's name must be Rattles," said Michelle. "Her purr sounds like a rattle. Mum, Dad, listen to Rattles' purr." Linda, Michelle and their mum and Dad stayed at Grandma's house for 3 days. Every morning they would bring Rattles to the house and play with her all day. And every night they would bring Rattles to the haymow so that she could be back with her family. There was an uproar in the cat community during the nights. "Rattles," the other cats warned, "you can't trust humans. You have to run away when the children come. They're dangerous." But Rattles would only reply, "They're not dangerous. They're fun and they're nice. They play string with me. They dress me in doll's clothes. They feed me milk." Rattles wasn't afraid. Rattles was different. On the 4th morning, though, when Linda went to visit Rattles in the haymow, she had tears in her eyes. "Rattles," she said, "today we have to go back to the city. I'll take you to Michelle for a few minutes so we can say goodbye." When Michelle saw Rattles, she cried too. "Rattles, I love you. I wish you could come to the city with us." Rattles was sad. She wished she could come too. She didn't know what it was like in the city, but she didn't want to be like the other barn cats. Rattles was different. It just wasn't the same for Rattles after the girls left. She missed Linda and Michelle. She missed playing string with them. She missed having them put on those funny little doll's clothes on her. But most of all, she missed all the attention that they gave to her. She felt special. That was it. She felt special around them. Oh, sure, Rattles played with other cats, but they were dull by comparison. They were different. Rattles was sad. "Rattles, Rattles, come on, Rattles, cheer up. Let's play run through the straw bales," said one of her sisters. But Rattles shook her head. No. Boring, she thought to herself. "Rattles, Rattles, let's play hiss and spit at each other," said another one of her sisters. No, no, thank you," said Rattles. "It's stupid," she thought to herself. "Oh, Rattles, let's play stare at the dog," said one of her friends. "No, that's okay," said Rattles. Rattles shook her head and thought to herself, "They sure are different." The days started getting colder, and Rattles was getting sick. Her nose was runny, her eyes were runny, her stomach hurt. Rattles felt miserable. Grandma even noticed. "Oh dear," said Grandma, "the girls will be upset if something happens to Rattles." Grandma picked up Rattles and carried her to the car. "Rattles, I'm afraid we're going to have to take you to the vet." When Grandma returned home from the veterinary, she kept Rattles in the house to keep her warm and some special medicine to give her with an eyedropper. Rattles could hardly swallow it. Rattles was only in the house for 2 days when she heard some familiar voices. "Happy Thanksgiving, Grandma!" "Rattles, you're here! You look sick." It was Linda and Michelle. Rattles tried to purr, but her throat was too sore. The girls were again having a 3-day stay at Grandma's. They played with Rattles a lot, but they let her rest a lot too. They were ready to go back to the city on the 4th morning when disaster struck. Rattles' brother was badly hurt by the farm dog. The humans tried to help him, but when Uncle Dwayne tried to catch him, he would only hide. Everyone could only hope for the best. "Mum, Dad," the girls cried, "can Rattles please come home with us? Please? We don't want him to get hurt by the farm dog too." "But we have a puppy at home," replied Dad. "Our puppy is friendly and gentle though. Please?" "Well, okay," replied Dad. Grandma packed Rattles' medicine and the box she'd been sleeping in while in the house. Everyone piled into the van. Rattles got to sit in the front on Mum's lap. It was the longest ride Rattles ever had. She rode and rode and rode. 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. "I don't know," thought Rattles to herself. "This really is long and boring for a sick cat." But things changed after 5 hours. Suddenly there were bright lights shining all in the dark. There were more buildings than Rattles could ever have imagined. And cars. There were cars, so many cars. They looked almost piled on top of one another. Rattles sat at attention, watching out of the window. This was exciting. Now this was different. Rattles knew she was almost at a new home when the family stopped at someone's house to pick up the family's playful, friendly puppy. Then they went to a grocery store to get some cat food. When the van stopped again in another driveway, Rattles knew this was her new home and started to purr. She could hardly wait to investigate the inside of the pretty red brick house. Yes, it sure was going to be different in the city, but then Rattles was different too. The end. Bye-bye, Mila. Bye-bye, Jack. We'll see you soon. Goodbye, everybody. Bye.